And we're live. What's up, Choom gang? Welcome to another Choom Session. I'm your host, Sophia from Choom Cannabis, and I'm going to be joined by a very special guest from Weed Me in just a moment, where we'll get to learn all about their products and brand. But before we get into it, I'll give you a minute to get settled in and get comfy while I quickly go over how you can be entered into our giveaway. And you're going to want to pay attention because this time around, our friends at Weed Me are helping us give away not one, but four Amazon Fire 8 tablets that are perfect for browsing the web, reading, watching movies, or future Choom sessions, just saying, or anything else that you like doing with apps and an internet connection. So we're going to be drawing four names and announcing the winners on Thursday, August 26th, right here inside the Choom gang. So if you want to enter, all you have to do is like this video, react to it, and that's it. You're entered. And if you want some bonus entries, we are going to be doing bonus entries. All you have to do for that is just answer a few questions that I'm going to be asking you guys during this session. And I got the first question for you guys right now. And I like to call this one the icebreaker. I've asked this one before and I'll ask it again because I want to know. What are you guys chooming today? What strain are you enjoying? You know, maybe you're vibing on a brownie or vaping up some terpy goodness. Whatever it is, just tell us in the comments and you got yourself a second entry, my friend. So make sure to watch out for the other questions I'll be asking you guys later on to get even more entries in. All right, Choom Gang, let's get into it. It's time to welcome our featured guest. So please help me welcome Weed Me's very own CEO and co-founder, Terry, into our session. Hello, Terry. Welcome to the Choom Gang.
Hey, Sophia and gang. Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So first things first, please tell the Choom Gang about yourself and how you got into cannabis in the first place.
Well, my name's Terry. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Weed Me, and we started up Weed Me about 5 years ago. My relationship with cannabis has been a lifelong affair. Been a long time consumer of it, and when JT started talking about legalizing cannabis, I felt it would be a good move to get into the right place at the right time and become a legal cannabis brand. And here we are.
Incredible. That's awesome. And what a wild ride that must have been, hey?
Yeah, it was a bumpy road. Going back 5, 6 years, it was a much different place than now. I remember when we were talking about starting Weed Me, everybody would talk a little quieter every time we would talk about cannabis, and it's pretty amazing how now everybody is open about it, and it's a real thing, and the stigma is wearing off over time, and people are understanding the therapeutic benefits that cannabis provides to all consumers, not just medical consumers, but on a recreational level. I think that consuming cannabis has many, many benefits to just wind down the day in a lot of cases.
Definitely. I agree. Like, even if you were to think about it as like that glass of wine at the end of the day, like I'm not much of a drinker, but I'll smoke my weed. I will.
Yeah, and it's a great alternative for a lot of people. I think
Yeah.
you get a lot of the benefits without the detriments comparatively to like alcohol. I think alcohol is a little bit old school, and who likes a hangover, right?
Yeah, no, no, thank you. Awesome. Okay, well, tell us about Weed Me. You know, like what kind of products do you guys specialize in?
So Weed Me is a cannabis brand. We're a licensed cultivator, but we're also a curator of products. So we take a lot of time to talk with other producers in the country, coast to coast, predominantly specialized growers, micros, and things like this. Guys that are really good at their craft. So we will source product from these type of guys, and we also do grow product in house. Our specialty really is the high end smokable cannabis products. So pre rolls, flower, and vapes. We also do some gummies. But really, where we shine is innovation. We like to innovate in terms of strain and offerings. So we do have a lot of variety in our products, and we like to cycle them as well. So we don't usually stay on any one strain for any extended period of time, and we like to change it up. I myself never like to smoke the same thing for a long period of time, and I think most consumers are like that too. So I like to think we do the legwork and try and find the best products out there, so that when people come in and they want to grab a Weed Me product, they know that they're going to have their expectations met.
No, that's great. And so tell us more about like your weed specifically. Like tell us what makes it so special.
One of the things that's the biggest, the most important factor for me is the actual buzz. So before we release a product, as simple as it sounds, we consume it. Like I'll smoke it. Benny, my other co-founder, will smoke it. The majority of upper management smokes it. We've got a connoisseur club in the company here, so any employee at WeedMe can sign up for a connoisseur club, and they'll have an opportunity to try products in
I
advance of
love that.
deciding to put them into the market. We want to know that it's going to have a clean burn, it's going to have a white ash, it's not going to be harsh, and that it's going to give you the buzz that you're expecting. So whether you're a heavy indica smoker or more on the sativa side or somewhere in between, that in fact when we're sourcing a strain or we're growing a strain and we're releasing the strain, that it is what people are expecting to receive, and that it's also terpy. Like we like it to taste right, we like it to have some bag appeal. We're taking steps to try and emphasize that in our product as well. Like even with our flower, we're trying to move all our flower to glass with a boost pack in it, just so that when you get that nug, it's going to be as good as it possibly can be. Our pre-rolls are milled flower as well, so we don't put any bunk in any of our products. It's all top grade flower in there, and I think people realize that and they come back for more.
Yeah, I think that this is probably the most homework that I've done for a Choom session. Probably the most products that I've bought so far. And I honestly have to say that like whatever your connoisseur club is doing, like I love it. It's wonderful. Everything that I've tried so far has been fantastic. So just
Awesome.
throwing that out there, like there's just so much variety too. So
Yeah.
I mean, I was like a kid at the candy store. So, I was like one of each, please. Thank you.
Yeah, there's no shortage. I think in BC, I think we've got over 14 different pre-rolls, and I'm
Yeah.
not talking about different formats, that's different strains. So we
Yeah.
like
I've got myself a little assortment of five, just five. That's it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's a good starting place.
It is. It is. I'm looking forward to trying them all. All right, though. But Choom Gang, I have another question for you that's going to count towards your bonus entry for this prize. All right, you guys ready? What do you guys look for when you're buying your weed? Like, is it price? Is it THC content? Flavor profiles? Is it the terpenes? Like, is it just whatever's been suggested to you? Go ahead and let us know in the comment section to get another entry in. Okay, so back to your weed. So how do you decide on what strains to go with? So it's basically part of that connoisseur club. Is there any other kind of process that you kind of decide on?
So one of the things is we like to take a beat of the marketplace. So if there's some sort of new trending strains out there, we try and get our hands on it. We're going to be pushing towards more garlic strains. I know that the garlic genetics themselves are starting to dig into the market. I personally really love the buzz off anything like that. So we've got garlic jelly that we actually grow that one in house. It's one of our favorites.
I
It's
have
just
garlic jelly right
you,
here.
you're gonna like it. It's
Oh, this one put me out for the night.
yeah.
This one, be careful, guys. This is a heavy hitter.
So we got some heavy hitters, like our blue iguana is like a super heavy hitter. That one will like put you out. That's definitely a couch lock type of strain, playing video games, crashing out, Netflix, whatever. And then like we got another strain called Lemon Z that we sell, and that's one of my favorites. Like I'll smoke a Lemon Z while going for a run or a bike ride, and it's just like super great for athletics. I really love it in that regard. But when we're selecting strains, really, it comes down to the buzz, because I find that even with specific strains themselves, the effect varies phenotype to phenotype. So you can have numerous growers growing the same thing, but it doesn't quite seem the same. So we're really cognizant of that fact when we're sourcing product, or we're growing product, or when we're sourcing the genetics that we plan on growing. We're pretty specific with that to try it out and smoke it, and just see that the whole entourage effect is in a good place. You know, sometimes I find that some weed kind of puts me on edge, makes me paranoid or something like that. So we try and avoid that as much as possible. And I think that that can be done with you know, just consumer feedback. And like I said, we're really heavy in the belief that we want to try it with lots of people here before we send it to lots and lots of other people, sort of just to do that legwork and make sure that it's going to be an enjoyable experience. And then ultimately, all of our offerings are over 20%. I'm not the biggest fan of the fact that weed sells based on a THC percentage. I think there's a lot more to it than just that.
I'm on
But
that same camp with you. There's definitely more than just THC content. And we do have a Choom Session call out our Learning and Burning, our first Learning and Burning episode that went over why THC isn't the only thing that matters. So if you guys haven't checked that one out yet, go check it out, because that's what we talk about there.
yeah, you can have some strains that are like 21%, and you'll feel really, really, really high off them as well. We like to also think about terpene content. So with our flower, our eighths, we put them in these jars here, and on these jars, actually, we have the total terpenes and the terpene profile on the back. And
Nice.
when possible, we also put the lineage and the breeder as well on there. So
Awesome.
we're putting more and more information on the flower jars. With the pre-rolls, we just don't have enough space on the package to actually put that there. But for the flower, we do put it there. So if people are looking for specific terps in particular, it's there. I like to get weed that's got at least 2% terps in it in most circumstances. Some of the weed that we've been seeing recently and putting out has been really, really terpy. So it's a combination of everything, but ultimately it's got to pass the smoke test.
Yep. Yeah, that is the most important, I would have to say. Awesome. So, okay, if people are out looking for strains, like what strains can we find from Weed Me right now?
So it varies province to province, but I'll give you a list out for the provinces where you guys are located. In Ontario, in terms of flour, we got lemon Z, wedding cake, ice cream cake, mandarin cookies, and soon to be garlic jelly will be arriving. For pre-rolls, we got lemon Z, wedding cake, ice cream cake, and mandarin cookies. And we've got a wedding cake vape as well. In Alberta, we've got the following flour: Grandpa's Stash, Tutti Frutti, Melon Gum, and then we've got a couple limited batches going out to Alberta in terms of flour. It's going to be garlic jelly, slurricane, do-si-do, powdered donuts, and blue iguana. For pre-rolls in Alberta, it's lemon Z, ice cream cake, blue iguana, Cindy Jack, Grandpa Stash, and powdered donuts. A little known fact: the Cindy Jack is actually autoflowers that we grow, so it's kind of a cool offering. It's got a really great buzz. It's got a lineage of Cinderella 99 and Jack Hare, and it's an autoflower, which makes it pretty unique for the legal market.
Cool.
Going back to Alberta, vapes, we got wedding cake, lemon Z, and seedless grape. And gummies in Alberta as well, we got Looney Lemon, Wacky Watermelon, and Goofy Grape.
I love those names.
So all of our products are Weed Me branded except for the gummies. The gummies are Choomy. They look like that. That's the vanity pack. And then the actual consumer package looks like this, thanks to Health Canada. So
yes, not as cute.
not as cute, but inside the product's still the same. And I guess the last one is BC. We've got a tremendous variety in BC. For flour, it's Grandpa Stash, wedding cake, melon gum, garlic jelly, and slurricane. And then for pre-rolls, we always get a lot of love west for pre-rolls from you guys.
We love our pre-rolls over here. I don't know what's going on. We just love them.
Yeah, and we love the fact that you guys love them too. I mean, I'm all about the convenience factor. All our pre-rolls are half gram. That's just the way we roll it. We put 3 joints in a tube. Our tubes in the stores. Yeah, that's the joint. That's the sort of forward-facing vanity packaging for the stores. So we're putting out a lot of promo product for you guys to put in store, and then the tubes look like this after we put all the Health Canada required information on there. In terms of the strains that we sell in BC for pre-rolls are Lemon Z, Wedding Cake, Ice Cream Cake, Mandarin Cookies, Blue Iguana, Cindy Jack, Grandpa Stash, Powdered Donuts, Slurricane, Platinum Girl Scout Cookies, Tutti Frutti, Melon Gum, Garlic Jelly, and Skywalker Kush.
Ooh, what a collection.
Yeah, I'm super stoked that we can offer so much variety. It's like one of the harder things being a cannabis producer in the Canadian market is the difficulty getting the product into the provinces to get to you guys. So BC was one of the first places we started selling in. It's always been close to my heart. So we have had the fortune of putting a lot of products in there, and we're seeing it coast to coast in all of the provinces that we sell in. They're warming up to the fact that we do have this variety. And so, when you guys are sourcing your product, if you're ever talking with the provincial distributors, you can always ask for them to do a pull for some of our products from the other provinces. I know that when we first launched our limited batch flour in Ontario, it only took about a week before we started getting calls from the other provinces saying, hey, we want that format, because our eighths, we used to sell exclusively in these pouches. And it's cool. I mean, listen, everybody, well, anyways, I don't know about everybody, but I know I got used to buying my weed in a Ziploc bag for years and years. So we sell it in a pouch. But the thing is that our eighths are all top colas. When we crop out our harvest, we separate the top colas, and they're all hand trimmed. So they're all hand trimmed top colas. Oftentimes it's just like one nug that you're getting that's 3.5 grams or around 3 grams, and we top it up to weight with a smaller piece, which is great. But the problem is that when you stuff it in this bag and it goes a couple, like 12 or 24 of these bags in a box, and they get squashed, you open up the pouch and it's kind of like, it's too bad that it got squished. So what we did was we went to these jars for our limited batch, and this is 3.5 grams in a jar with a boost pack in it. And this thing, when you open it, you can see what the bud is supposed to look like, and it's going to be unadulterated, hand trimmed, taken care of, and that goes for all of our eighths. We try as hard as possible to put just top colas in there for you guys, so you get the best experience. But I will say our pre-rolls, they're flour also. So, we're grinding up flour, and a lot of the time we're grinding up flour that's been hand trimmed, and then we just throw it into a milling machine and we put that into our pre-rolls. So it's just as good, but you just have that optionality to roll a huge 3 paper if you want.
Yeah, totally. That's amazing. So, okay, we've heard
Let me
about
finish up with the varieties. In BC, so that was all our pre-rolls, and then we got vapes, 3 of them: Wedding Cake, Lemon Z, and Seedless Grape. And gummies, we also sell the gummies, the lemon, the watermelon, and the grape. And it's 2 gummies in a package, 5 milligrams. We would put more if we could, but that's just the way it is. But they're pretty affordable. They're grab and go. I think they're like around $5-6 retail.
Awesome.
So pretty nice.
That's great. And okay, Choom Gang. All right, I've got another question for you. We've heard about the roster of like amazing strains. So this question is, what weed strain would you guys like to give a try? Tell us in the comment section. Let us know what you'd want to reach for. Okay, Terry. So what right now? What has to be like your personal favorite strain right now? I know that's a hard one, right? And I'm sure it's
For
like
what part of the day?
evolving. Yeah,
What part of the day
exactly.
are we talking about? Because garlic jelly is like it's one of our newer ones, newer like in the last year. I totally love it, just all around. It's like if I've only got one kind of weed, then probably I would have garlic jelly. It's the most diverse for what I want to be doing.
It is a unique flavor, that one, I will say. It's like it has a freshness to it, but it also has that like robust, like herbally, like full body experience. And I was telling my husband when we were smoking it, I was like, I can picture this pairing really well with like a steak dinner, like medium rare with all the fixings. And I'm gonna try that next time.
Right? Get your hunger up and the juices
Oh
flowing.
yeah.
Garlic jelly is great all around strain for whatever you want to do. The lemon Z is it's not the heaviest hitter, but it's like a very sort of clear headed buzz. So it's great for working out. You know, one of my things is about the smoothness of a joint. I want it to be really smooth. So with our lemon Z joints, I can literally like pound down a half-gram joint while jogging. So it's, they're great
Yeah.
for that kind of activity type of stuff. And then the blue iguana is one of the newer ones we're offering. And that one will just like at the end of the day, if that's what you're after, they're super strong. And it's a great painkiller too. The blue iguana, if you have pain, it really does work for pain, like physical pain.
A blue
So
iguana was the first one that I finished the bottle. They're all gone. I love this one because for me, I actually was like pretty energetic from like the beginning, and then it tapers off, and then you get into that like more relaxing, sedative feel. And so for me, like that was my perfect one. So that one, this one's gone now. I need more.
yeah, that's a new one we're rolling out everywhere, and but I think you guys have got it available to you in all the provinces that you sell in.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's incredible. Okay, so we talked about some pretty fire weed, but now I want to know about your vapes because, well, I have the seedless grape right here. And tell us which ones were the other offerings.
So there's lemon Z, wedding cake, and seedless grape.
And okay, so I'm gonna just say I absolutely loved this. The first time I tried it, I was just like stunned by the aroma and the flavor. And honestly, the best way that can describe this is do you guys remember that grape Hubba Bubba bubble gum that comes in like a roll and it's like tape? Like it smells just like that, like just juicy, fruity, grapey, super sweet. Yeah, but I do have to say the effects of this one did sneak up on me a little bit. I was flying pretty high, and I was also really impressed that the high was actually very long lasting, which I'm not really used to for vapes. Like usually for me, it's something that kind of goes quickly. For this one, it took me from a movie, watching a movie to, watching YouTube, and then it just like helped me crash for the night. I was out for the count.
Yeah, our vapes are really strong. They're basically as strong as you can make them. They're filled with a distillate and formulated to those flavors. The distillate when we start, it's like around 92 to 93% before we formulate it. So after it's been formulated with anywhere from 4 to 6% terps, it's still well over 80%, maybe approaching 85% potency. And so they are strong vapes. We only sell a 1 gram format 510 cart. So our vanity packaging looks like that, and that's what the actual product comes in. The cart sits inside of a foam, inside of this box, and it's a cute box you can use for stuff afterwards, and it works really well. And I showed you a little sneak pie into the next one.
Ooh, cherry pie.
Yeah, that one isn't available yet in the provinces, but it's going to be one of the next ones. And we got some really cool stuff coming up with the vapes. It's fun to have fun with it, right? To kind of make it neat and interesting. That's why when we did grape, I decided to call it seedless grape because there's no seeds in there.
I love it. That's awesome. And since we're on the topic of vapes, guys, I just would like to mention, especially to all of those that are newer to cannabis, to start low and go slow. As dark as that sounds, just do it. Because if you take too much at a time, it can really hurt and cause coughing fits, which is just never fun. So test the water with just 1 or 2 small draws. Wait a good 10 minutes before deciding to go in for another one, so you could really control that experience. That is incredible. So, okay, you showed us a little sneak peek of cherry pie, but was there anything else that was coming that we should be keeping an eye out for?
So I think that like in Ontario, the garlic jelly's not available yet. And I
Guys,
just
look out for that one.
the list dropped on my desk while we were talking. That's what I'm reading off. And what I'll say is that list I gave you, some of the products you may not see when you look right now because they haven't landed yet. So they are coming. I know like blue iguana is new to some places, garlic jelly's new to some places. The Skywalker Kush, we did put out into BC like about a month ago, but I think it all sold like within a day. So it might not be there. The Platinum Girl Scout Cookies is pretty new. I think it's just landing in BC
Yep,
now.
I got my hands on some. Gotta say, loved this one as well. That was second for me with the blue iguana.
Yeah, in Alberta, in Alberta, in terms of flower, a lot of it is new to Alberta. So the garlic jelly, the slurricane, the do-si do powdered donuts, and blue iguana are all new to Alberta. Um, we've been proactively really pressing to revamp our SKUs in some of the provinces. Some of them have been pretty slow going in terms of matching our rate of innovation. So we had some SKUs that were from sort of years back, and as the market evolves, it really changes our ability to source different genetics. It was really restricted in the beginning in terms of what you could grow, what you could get your hands on. And that unfortunately sort of trailed off in some of the provinces more than others, where they were just apprehensive about changing out things. But I think that the provinces are realizing what the consumer wants, and that's variety. And that's what Weed Me is about. Our slogan is, it has to be great. So we do change things up, but we only replace things with quality products.
I love that. Well, we're definitely going to be watching out for those. Guys, make sure you're looking out for all of those drops coming up. But guys, that is all the time that we have today. These happen so quickly and I never want them to end. But Terry, thank you so much for joining us and being a part of this Choom session. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thanks very much for having me. It's been a pleasure. And thank you guys for the support and the love. We couldn't do it without you.
No, like likewise. And Choom Gang, you guys are awesome. So thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget, make sure to get those entries in before August 25th to get your hands on one of those Amazon Fire tablets. Good luck, everyone. And until the next one, Choom Gang, we'll see you then.